so far today have yet to hit top gear. It's time we fill up a touch edge. We want to see more of the same people, Brazil, and perhaps maybe Spain to lift it up again.
We need to see a little bit of something from Spain. They are yet to score a point, which is really unheard of for such an experienced team. Don't get me wrong, they are also going through a bit of a transition. The lady you were always used to seeing out for Spain, Patricia Garcia in the center, she was the boss, she was the captain. She is missing, and I think it is telling.
It is telling so far, but can they banish the form of this morning and put in a performance here this afternoon? We're going to find out now as Brazil prepare to get us underway through their captain, Raquel Cocan. Ball in hand. Referee for this one is from England, Catherine Ritchie. It's her debut tournament. Third match today so far, and she has acquitted herself very well indeed so far. Cocan for Brazil. Little dink towards that 10-meter line. It just about makes 10 and does so. Straight away, Brazil attacking. And they get the referee's whistle decision as well for a penalty. Chance to move this one wide then. Watch out for Bianca Silva, as we said last time. Ed scored an absolute wonder try, really. Nicolau takes it into contact. Quick recycled ball is what they need.
6 offside.
Spain offside. And Brazil wasting no time in getting on with the ball. Taken there by Fioravanti Costa. Two-handed carry, this one by Corujo. Inside the Spain 22. Quick recycled ball, that's what we want to see. Cocan has two outsider. Cocan, little short pop pass. Managed to gather. Good take from Nicolau. Still going, Nicolau. Echeverria struggling to drag her to that ground. We've got Bianca Silva free on the right-hand side, and Cocan doesn't need her. Dummy sells them up the river, and Brazil strike first.
They do strike first with great awareness there from the Brazilian captain. You could just see then Spain were too worried about that outside edge. Whenever you're around a ruck, you defend the ball, you stay in tight, and then if you are outnumbered, you adopt a give defense to try and control that play out on the wing. But instead there, the Spaniards, they straight away looked to the threat on the wing, took their eye off the captain Cocan, who exposed it really tight to the ruck. Great snipe.
Perfect start as well. I can tell you, whatever Brazil have been doing in the off-season, Pip, has really paid dividends. They look like a transformed team here, don't they?
They do, and I think it's just testament to the fact that this is the second season that they've been a core in this World Series Sevens, and they're really developing and feeling their feet now.
No question about it. Restart goes deep inside the Spain 22, and Spain have been living off scraps so far in the matches they've contested. Maria Garcia to Echeverria brings it to the 10-meter line. Now what can they do with ball in hand? They need to keep possession first and foremost here, because they have been on defensive duty for all the time. Little slippery run from Garcia.
High tackle.
High tackle against Brazil, so it'll be a Spanish penalty, a chance to settle them down and keep their hands on the ball.
Yeah, typically for Spain, they do very much want to keep the ball in possession. They're not big players, they're not powerful players, but they've always had speed of ruck and good handling skills and good fitness.
And up the line they go. No Patricia Garcia, but the tactic of kicking up the touchline and setting out the line out remains for the Spanish team. Let's see what they can do from the set piece here. So Beatriz Dominguez Sanchez to throw. Goes to the middle. Decent clean take from Fresneda. And out it goes into the midfield. Fernandez de Corres, one of the more experienced in that Spanish squad. Big tackle in the midfield there by Marina Fioravanti Costa. Spain still have it. Echeverria. Little step off her right foot. Keeps the ball alive. Little pop pass. That's a shame.
Forward, into touch.
Decent attacking move before that, but it's broken down now, and Brazil will have the scrum.
Yeah, it was decent, but you know what? That first phase play where we saw the centres trying to combine there, and number 6, Maria Garcia, just massively overran it. I don't know whether she's too eager to get her hands on the ball, but she didn't leave her inside player many options at all. Just looking at a little rusty, the Spaniards so far.
Yeah, no question about it. Corujo taps the penalty. Quick tap and go. Here she is, Bianca Silva. What a try was she scored last time against the French. A real jaw dropper. Talia Costa. Tackle again from Garcia. That was high again. Spain, discipline at the moment, is just deserting them. And Brazil will take the penalty and the whistle all day long. Nice pass. Flat pass from Furtado. Out it comes to the wing where Nicolau is waiting. Again, strong, powerful runner with number 1 on her back. Off the ground from Furtado. Into the midfield it goes. Talia Costa does have Bianca Silva. She wants a little switch inside. Costa has away! Over the 10, 22. Good night, good luck. That is a brilliant Brazil try.
Great awareness there by Talia Costa, and don't underestimate the importance of that dummy line running in from Bianca Silva. It just made the Spaniards' defence question for that split second, and it's that split second questioning that allowed Silva to bust on through that gap. So fast. Really, Brazil are developing such an all-court game. They've got big ball carriers now. They can rely on the ball in hand, the transition to the wing. And they've got the awareness. They're really starting to become experienced 7 players now.
Well, you saw William Broderick in your shot there, head coach. I mean, what work he has done. 12 points to nil. This is a comfortable Brazil performance so far. And you get the feeling there's more to come.
And when you consider that they've met 15 times and Spain have won 13 occasions, really a win here today is
massive
very
boost, isn't it?
massive boost for Brazil.
No question. They tried it a short one again.
No, gone.
That's the risk with those little dink ones from the restart, that you got to find 10. It's the NFL's version of the onside kick, but it has to go 10. And now Spain with a chance to try and run this one back and put themselves in with a chance of getting a score of their own. Domingo Sanchez, recycle ball, pass out from Fernandez de Corres, Echevarria, 2 outsider. Nice movement for Esneda to find her winger. Again, look at the tackle from Nicolau. Brazil defensive shape, holding their line really well, not getting caught by decoy runners.
Leave.
Out it goes to Garcia. She's dragged to the ground. This time Spain get the penalty. Quick tap and go.
Leave.
Referee happy to let play continue. Little pass out the back door. Cocan after it. Echevarria picks off the ground. There for Spain. Calvo. 2 on the outside. Surely Spain are going to get a try from here. Ajudo into the corner. Yes, she does.
Spain were lucky there. That mishandling nearly gave Brazil the opportunity to give that sort of scrambled defence and get onto the ball carrier. Early play, we saw some really lovely handling from the Spaniards. What a nice switching offload in the contact, keeping that ball alive. But they need to be more clinical than that. A better team would have got to them and shut that down with the ball going to ground there.
So Spain drag themselves off 0. 5 points on the board. The conversion is to the right and wide. So 30 seconds to go, 14 points to 5. The Brazil lead is cut slightly, but they still have a decent command of this game. Is that one going to go 10? It's going to go 10, all right, and bounce into touch. So it'll be one last play.
Spain line.
And interesting if Brazil have a strike move from the line out here. We might see Silva get her hands on the ball with a bit of room.
I think that's what everyone wants to see, don't they? Talia Costa there out on the wing. She's a very strong player. They've spread out really wide here, filling the field, Brazil. That would suggest they're going to go for the width.
Got to run the line out.
Hold. You two, do not close the gap. Do not delay the throw, okay?
So we're going to have a reset. Catherine Ritchie just wants both teams to keep the gap. And there comes the ball in. Decent take as well from Furtado. It's gone forward. And that should be the end. It is. The whistle sounds. So Brazil 2 tries to the good. Spain with 1 in reply so far. But no questions to South Americans. A different team here in Dubai. And they deserve their lead by 14 points to 5. So an interesting first half then, as Brazil really pick up where they left off against the French. And we did wonder if it was a bit of a flash in the pan, Philippa, in terms of a one-off performance, but they've backed it up so far in this first half.
They really have, and gosh, let's not take anything away from that performance against France. To put 3 tries on an in-form French team is no mean feat. It was a really impressive performance for them, and they stuck in the game as well. They didn't die off, which is something Brazil have done previously. Second half fitness has been challenging for them, but they stuck in there. This is definitely a developing team.
No question, the job that William Broderick has done in terms of developing their fitness. It's remarkable, really, when you have a coach come in a situation like that, he can improve fitness, include the handling skills of the players, and they all buy into it. This is the result of what has been a lot of work, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. And the next progression for them is going to be to increase their strength in depth. You know, this team we're seeing today, we've seen that on many other occasions. So there will be a time where they're going to start to blood in some younger talent and give some more players the opportunity. But get the consistency in performance first, which is what hopefully we're starting to see in Dubai.
So second half then, and Spain, well, can they turn the tide here? Really has been below par performances over the course of the morning and early afternoon, but it's certainly within their grasp and their ability to turn things around. We've seen it before. They've taken down some of the best sides to play the game, and they do play as a collective team spirit when they are so minded. They just haven't managed to produce it so far in Dubai. They've got 7 minutes to turn it around here. That one's going to go 10. It's going to bounce into touch as well. So Coquelin just happy to leave it over her shoulder. Brazil will have the put into the line. And we're going to have an early substitution, double substitution for Brazil. Leila dos Santos Silva comes in. And so too Marcela Souza got the final try against the French before France broke Brazil hearts. Certainly won't weaken the side.
Yeah, go.
There's the throw, clean take, Coquelin. Out it goes into the midfield. Bianca Silva this time. Little check of her run. Silva still going. Has to be pretty well marshalled, and she is. Spain off their feet. They're diving onto the ground. That's pretty cynical. There's a quick tap. Coquelin. Not much room really out in this near side. Here's the substitute, fresh legs, Marcel Souza. Coquelin once again fires one out to Garujo. Let's see what they can do from here. Talia Costa. Again, Spain a little bit better in that defensive line this time, putting more pressure on Brazil. And there's an unforced error. It's the benefit of rushing up as a unit together. Coquelin trying to get the hands free now. Here she goes. Souza away from the 22, away from the 10-meter line. And Marcela Souza is going to go the entire length of the pitch. Super sub supreme. Back-to-back tries in back-to-back games. Brilliant.
Well, there in itself is testament to the development of this Brazil team, to be pegged into your 22, to have the pressure mounting on you, and yet you can still score from it and turn it into an attacking advantage. Of course, it's all going to come from the captain, Raquel Coquelin. She is the instigator for Brazil. And you have to say Marcel Souza is normally on for her ball carrying, but she's also on there for her speed. So difficult to stop when she gets running. She hasn't got an initial 2 or 3 meters. She's not going to accelerate straight off, but after 10 meters, she's got such a strong side.
She's like a locomotive, isn't she? Once the pistons get going, very hard to rein her in or even stop her. And that was a big smile for a big try, because that has pushed Brazil well clear. 21 points to 5, and Spain struggling.
Tackle, clear release.
Quick tap. They need points, and they need them as fast as possible. Garcia.
Advantage, not 10.
Brazil not back 10. Referee playing advantage. Picked off the base. Harudo did a grubber kick through. That might go work nicely for Fernandez de Corres, who's after this. Look at Silva, the pace for her to get back, though. She certainly has the acceleration off the gas. Did knock it on, but she saved an otherwise try. It'll be a Spain scrum.
Sub.
It's so awesome when you see a foot race like that. You get to truly appreciate how fast some of these athletes are. And Bianca Silva certainly won that race, up against stiff competition there as well. It wasn't like she was up against a forward. She was up against a fellow speedster.
Yeah, she
12.
absolutely burned her in that race. So fresh legs for both teams. Duca comes in.
Okay, here's the mark.
And Edna Santini, one of the more experienced players. There she is, Bianca Silva. What a player she's turned into. Full of promise, and she comes out. It doesn't always work out that the promise delivers on it.
Yeah, exactly. But she is top try scorer for a reason. She's got the agility, she's got the speed. She's a real weapon for Brazil.
Set.
Again, pressure in that scrum.
Far side, not driving straight.
But driving straight. according to the referee, so Spain will get a tap here. 4 minutes to play. 16 points the gap. 3 scores in it. Spain need one quickly.
Brazil?
You just question as well, you know, when the clock running down, 4 minutes to play, they need 3 scores on that occasion. Why they would waste time going into the corner? I might get your thoughts on that in just a second.
Guys, you cannot
Well,
hold up in the
there
air.
you go.
You must bring her down straight away. That is too long in the air.
Too long in
You
the
hold
air.
her up, you must
Giving
bring her
possession
down.
straight away back.
It is, absolutely.
Free kick,
For me,
yeah.
that was the wrong decision. They should have been going, even if they went for the line out, at least go for a quick one, but they actually took their time to try and set, and then they still faltered.
So they got the worst of both worlds there, as Cocan tries to come away with it. Spain with another penalty away. It's discipline evaporating from the team now. Out it goes. Santini looking to carry two-handed back inside to Silva. That's a messy pass. Kicked through by Fernandez de Correz. Brazil have Carujo back there.
22.
And it's a 22-meter dropout. She's going to take it quickly, I think. There's nobody on the left-hand side. If you can get the ball wide here, Sousa's completely unmarked. The kick straight down the middle, though. And the turn from Izaguirre. Izaguirre still going. Tackled by Sousa, lovely offload, beautiful support line as well, on her shoulder to get the try. And that, you have to say, for Spain, might be too little too late.
Yeah, I think it is too little too late. And hey, great try by them, but equally for Brazil, Marcela Sousa, I'm not sure why she was hanging off that ball. She really should have got into that area. When the Spanish fielded that return kick, that one player, she was on her own. There was no support with her, and there were 2 Brazilian players there. They should have gone in for that and poached that ball.
No question.
Time off, sub.
More fresh legs for Spain then. Silvia Morales comes in. Here's the finish again from the substitute Duggar. She was also involved in the World Cup
Time on.
qualifiers in Italy with the 15s game. Back into 7s now. And Spain running out of time. 2 more scores needed. 2 minutes left to go. It's not impossible, but Brazil have the ball. Cocan deals with the high one. Look at the counter ruck, though. Strong drive from Fresneda. Still there for Cocan. And it goes from Carujo. High tackle. Discipline, a problem again.
Yeah, that's Spain up to
8
6
high
penalties now. That is a lot
Yeah,
in
strong
7s.
There you go. 6 penalties to just 3 for Brazil. And Cocan just taking that extra breath. It is hot out there, but
Thank you.
Brazilians will be well used to that.
That's clever play by Brazil. Having the lead like this at the time of the game, they're just slowing it down. They're going to take their time.
Ouch.
Yeah,
Bye.
very good game management, isn't it, by one of the more senior players in the squad. Raquel Cocan, 1 minute and change to play in Dubai. Brazil looking for their first win after running France so close. There'll be no less than they deserve. Here is Carujo as Bianca Silva outside. The pass needs to go. The pass does go, and you're not going to catch her from there. Not a chance of it. Bianca Silva touches down for the 2nd time in Dubai.
You know what they say sometimes, to be your best 7s, just play it simple, and that was textbook simple. A solid scrum, clean handling of pass, but the right engagement from the back line there to be able to ensure that Silva was going to be in space. She still had a bit of work to do, but gosh, hasn't she got a strong fend. Such a tall runner, it puts her in such a strong position to be able to go for that fend.
Yeah, I think a beauty in flight, and that is the game for Brazil. No less than they deserve, you have to say. Just say what if against the French, you know, and France got a mighty old fright, but Brazil have backed it up here. They proved that that game against France was no fluke, and they are going to be a team to be reckoned with no matter how they finish in terms of Pool A standings overall. There's the final hooter now, so last roll of the dice for Spain. Anything they get from here will just be a consolation. And an awful lot of soul searching for them on day 1 here. On a tournament to come, of course, next weekend, but they have a lot of work to do this week to get themselves back into the Spain that we know, and this is an example of what they can do. It's just been too few and far between, really, over the course of the day. Brilliant tackle to get back there, once again from Sousa. An advantage being played. Santini.
High tackle.
High tackle. Another penalty. That's 7
No,
for
high tackle.
Spain given away. And that's an area they're going to have to address as well. And that's very fixable. Cocan says enough is enough. We've earned this victory. The full-time hooter sounds, and Brazil deserve all the claps on the back. A wonderful performance, back-to-back now, but crucially, they've managed to get a victory here.
This is so important for the building of Brazil. And it's just so important, like you said, that they've backed up against that performance from France. Beating Spain, that is a massive scalp for them. And like I say, it's just great to see an all-court game from them. They've got the structured, they've got the off-the-cuff, and they've got, as we've just seen, a great scramble D.
Full-time score, Brazil 26, Spain